Good afternoon. Thanks for being here today. I know it's the last session of today, and we will have some discussions about AI and the dashboard, environmental science, and public health. And we are trying to discovering actionable and tangible insight from Earth data. I am Qian Huang, a research assistant professor at East Tennessee State University Center for Rural Health Research. And the chair of the session is Dr. Ziheng Sun from George Mason University. He is also the chair of machine learning cluster. Um, let's get it started. So we have this is our session agenda. We're gonna Dr. Ziheng Sun will give us a 10 minutes introduction, and we will have breakout room sessions. Don't be panic. If you want to listen, stay here. It's totally fine too. But we do encourage you share your opinion and talk about something about the AI and also dashboard. And then we will have 10 minutes to get a feedback. And then I will present some dashboard examples I created on environmental science and public health. And then we have breakout session again to discuss how to integrate AI in dashboard developing. Finally, we'll have actionable item to discuss to say, okay, so you can help us to guide our next half-year plan for ESUB machine learning cluster or related work. And we'll have a conclusion at the end. And feel free to ask questions if you have any. Okay. So Jensen will give us a 10 minutes introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, Chen. Nice to have you all here. So my name is Ziheng Sun from George Mason University. I'm also the machine learning cluster chair. We have monthly meeting every, I think it's third Friday at the noon Eastern time. So yeah, we have worked on AI for the past like 3 years, and we published like one paper on the review of the Earth AI, and also another paper is upcoming. It's already accepted, but yeah, we're gonna figure out how to make it open access. It's talking about how to make AI practical in the earth sciences, because we heard a lot of like buzzword and also new technologies, but we never like think about like how to make it actually work for you. It's like it's not a apps, some like methodology that you just talking about it but never see how it works. For the science right now, it's kind of in this like the blurry you know vague zone that everybody is talking about it, but no one actually see someone did it. So yeah, it's kind of okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's great night show there.
Okay, it's the last session of the day.
Yeah.
We can have some fun.
It's fine. You don't have to say me. This is what matters, right? Okay. Thank you. So yeah, I have worked on the machine learning for the for quite basically my major research direction is on how to use in machine learning in the earth science to solve the earth science problems. But this is so true that I saw that on the internet. I feel like it's really good to share with you, because when I'm told some people that I'm working on AI, I always see someone, some like different reactions from all the people around me. Like the society thinks that I'm working with a fleet of robots. What my friends think that I'm a kind of cool person that is do some really amazing stuff, and like what those folks in the GPL did actually. but my parents think that, the supercomputer, all those data science, yeah, it sounds like a very high technical and, amazing stuff. Other programs, which is my colleagues, they think that, all those maths involved and, it's kind of like a science. Um, and I think I'm doing like data science project, but what I really do is just write a bunch of like a small, the Python code, which using the library, which the whole community is working on, and just write like 10 lines of code to feed the data in, and that's it. That's what we do. Um, it's not cool at all. But yeah, that's exactly what we are here, but because not everybody can build a ChatGPT. That's the reality. Most people are just pull on GPU and they have no expertise background to do those like complicated large scale cache burning projects like ChatGPT does. So yeah, we summarized what we have did as a community in the past maybe like 15 or yeah, since 1950s. That's when the original idea of the machine learning is kind of like a keeping practice. And the ongoing project is general AI. I would call it general AI because they are talking about how to make AI general. ChatGPT is like super popular because it can deal all kinds of tasks. It's not specific for any specific tasks, but that's what we are doing right now. So like Earth science, well, the hurricane forecasting is doing the hurricane wildfire using machine learning to forecasting wildfire, but not no single model can do both at the same time. Well, there is some like amazing progress in the impact team. NASA impact team did like building the foundational model, but it's still in the early stage. So we're still at this like trying to build a general stage, but nothing is working right now. Um, and in the future, definitely we're gonna add all those like restrictions on how to make AI more ethical. Um, and we not only need AI that can do all those things, but we want to like control what they can do, like not something like in the movie, you know, your boss is actually a robot or something like that. uh, and we probably have to think the ethical questions more in the next um, several decades. So yeah, this is some like examples like how to, most of the community here is working on the satellite data set. So we collect all those data from remote sensing technology, but we feed them, organize them, clean them, and feed them into the AI model. AI is gonna, train it with all kinds of labels that are related to the society problems or the science problems. And even we don't know about the how it works because AI is kind of like data driven. It's actually autonomously learning all those patterns and the physics underneath those data patterns. Um, but it is supposed to help us to solve the real problems, and we have to make it explainable and understandable in real time or in the near future. And another application of AI is like, for example, this earthquake waves signal detection is anomaly detection. Um, AI can really help us to relieve our scientists from the burden of the labor and manually monitor all those signals. They can pick up all those anomaly signals from them. Um, and it will allow us to like quickly respond to all those like events that outlines. And another application I want to point out is uh, the hybrid model, which compose like combine the physics-based model and the AI model, because as I said, AI is completely data-driven, but we don't want it to work like that. We want to enforce some physics laws we already know that it's working into that AI model to give it like, make sure that it doesn't against the physics law when it's in the operation. So this is also some work ongoing, and we have seen a lot of papers talking about physics-informed AI recently. Yeah, another very important application of AI is filling the gap. Remote sensing suffers from the cloud coverage, so there is so many gaps, and also the revisit time is not every day, it's not every hour. So there is a gap in the spatial and the temporal range. So how do you make it work, like filling all those gaps using AI is also a very hot topic right now. Um, yeah, so a lot of application scenario is that while we are using a lot of numerical model to generate all kinds of data products right now, because they are continuous and they're physics based, and their simulation is kind of the best prediction we can get. Um, but they cost a lot of computing resources, and the time it's spent on those like running all those models, it takes a long time. So AI probably will help us to accelerate the parallel computing bottlenecks in there. It's just some process we don't have to do some like complicated computing just to make it work with AI. It will make it much faster to do the forecasting. So yeah, I think that's the current and what's going on uh, at the present and what happened in the past. Um, and we did some like quick survey. If you just scan this code and that's um, there will be several questions that we want to like you all to think about it and yeah, let's do a quick poll to see what everybody's opinion about them. You can scan the code or you can just click the link. I can actually paste the link in the meeting documents. So if you go there and click, and you will see it on your laptop as well. So I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to scan this code. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna switch over to this one and present here. Oh, we already have some results. So present with the results. Okay, so the first question is, have you come across with AI-derived data products before? Yeah, means that have you used the data that actually generated by the AI technology? Um, you could include that ChatGPT or the large language model service results. That's kind of like AI-generated data products, well, services. But if you have came across with the Earth data products before, yeah. Anyway, the next question is: it seems like most people are not sure about what it means by the AI generated data products. I would take an example. It's like the I'm not sure if you're familiar with the National Land Cover Database product, which is generally I think it's using machine learning technology to classify all those pixels. I would consider that as AI generated data products. Okay, so next question is, what do you think about AI solutions? So the first option is AI technology significantly enhance the accuracy and the efficiency of data analysis in the earth science. It seems that people are just in a unsure state, like neutral, the 3.1. Yeah, maybe it could improve the accuracy. Anyway, the second option is integration of AI in earth sciences and operation presents more opportunities than challenges. Yeah, I think most people agree with this. AI-driven models and tools are essential for advancing our understanding of a complex environmental phenomenon. Oh, yeah. So it seems that people agree with it. more than disagree. Okay, that's cool. Um, yeah, you can take your time to go in the. Okay, so next question. So do you think the large language models like ChatGPT will revolutionize the data interpretation and decision making in the earth sciences? So it's like currently most, the people I work with, mostly are using physics-based model to interpret data. And remote sensing satellite is just like an input. Um, they use it as input to the numerical model actually, or they can just assimilate the different data products into one to do the final analysis, interpretation, decision making. So yeah, it seems most people strongly agree with this. That's awesome. All right. So yeah, next question: how effective can foundational model be integrated into the existing science workflows and the community dashboard to enhance the productivity and the accuracy? So eventually, the Earth, the foundational model is going to be integrated into the operational services. So, what do you vision about that? Like, will that enhance the entire society's, like how we behave daily, or how we make like daily decisions based on that, um, effectively? Yep, that's great. So, next question is. What are your primary concerns about the adoption of AI and the large language model in the current earth science research? To be honest, I didn't see many actually at this point using them. It's just several papers talking about how to build one in the earth science, but not many people are using this for earth science research, as far as I know. um, yeah, it seems people are really concerned about model accuracy and reliability. Yeah, that makes sense. So do you believe there is a sufficient training and educational resources available for the Earth data professional to effectively using AI and a natural language model? Okay, it seems that most people disagree. So it means, yeah, there is not many people. But I search a lot about how to build this kind of AI for like Earth data science professionals in like a plain language, like people without uh, technical background can understand all this, and maybe do some like low coding practice or something like that. Yeah, I didn't search many like useful tutorials on that. Um, but yeah, it seems that most people disagree. Yeah, that's also my answer actually. um, okay, so this one is. Like, what innovative application of ChatGPT and other large language model do you foresee um, in the future of the science and the community dashboard? So the first option is enhanced predictive modeling. The second option is real-time data analysis and alerts. And third one is improved natural language interfaces for data query, which means like you can search all those data products using natural language. Um, it's kind of a chatbot, but it will provide all those like what data actually you want. And the fourth one is automated report generator. I think this is more for like end users that who really want insights instead of data product. They don't care about data products. They only want insights, like the final decision-oriented statements, like the answers. Some charts, like a report, like the final report for people that can make decision on. I saw some companies was doing this kind of thing. It was just one click, and it will generate the whole report for like the flooding of Austin um, at the real time. So it's like, yeah, I think yeah, I think this is actually a area that we actually barely talk about here. Um, anyway, yeah, I think that's the last question. Yeah, all right. So we're done with this survey. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna collect all those results and maybe just present it in the notes in our session notes and send to everyone's email if you want. You can just put your name and in the attendee list, and we will do that after the session. Thank you so much. That's the end of my talk. So
Any questions?
yeah, question.
How would you answer some of those questions, or did you disagree with results?
Yeah, that's a yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah, you good. So the question is how I will answer some of the questions. I actually know my answers when the ChatGPT was out, like in a few months. I was so excited. I think I know what's going on in there, but right now I don't anymore. I don't have a concrete answers to all these questions. So that's why I'm asking the community, what's your opinion about it? It became so complicated, and I feel there is a barrier between those people who building those services actually and the people who are using it. And even the people building this large language models, they actually don't understand all of them either because it's data driven. Everything is in the data, and the patterns is automatically learned by the training process. So they can't ask all those questions by themselves either. So we have to understand it from both sides, from the developers, from the users. So yeah, I think most of the question is just some quantitative. We can't just make sure like yes or it's not a yes or no question. So I would yeah, I think I would agree with most of you, most of your most voted answers. Does that answer your question? Thank you.
Thanks. One of the most intriguing aspects of what you showed was the idea of the hybrid models, where a physics-based model is, I guess, informing an AI model to get the results. Could you go into a little bit more about how that? I don't know if that's your background or someone else. That seems like that feels like a comfortable way to start trying to make a transition. I'm just trying to understand how that mechanism works. How does the AI understand how to deal with all of the potential varying outputs of the physics
Yeah, that's a very good question. Um, so so we have the whole a whole group is thinking about how to injecting the physics into the AI model. Um, Specifically the neural network based model. Uh, there are several places you can apply, but the most popular one, which is published on Nature, that paper talks about how you can do that, is injecting in differentiation equation into that feedback loop of the learning process. So in that feedback loop, you can just calculate the weight adjustment based on your physics equation. So it's like combining your physics-informed equation into that AI math equation to calculate the new weights. That's how you can do that. Yeah. All right, sounds good. I think let's move forward. Do you want?
We have Sean to help us have our discussion session. And want to do that? Okay, how about this? Let me start with the first one. So we want to have 4 breakout groups. That's split into 3 groups here, and the online one will be group 4. And for each group, let's talk. You can pick one question for like if we group one, you can pick one out of those two. So if you're interested in how to tackle missing data biases, you can discuss that. If you're more interested in prepare or AI training data for generative AI or fundamental models, you can talk about that as well. So we can probably have 10 minutes discussion, and then you feel free to put your notes into the notes we have, or you just we will have reflection sessions, so you can just share your opinion or ideas with the entire group. Questions? Don't be stressful. Don't be nervous. It's totally fine. Okay. How about? Would you mind to move to here and join? Thank you. So how about this is group one, and this is group two, maybe. Thank you. Do you both want to be group two, or one group one, one group two? Okay. Okay. Group two, group one, group two, group three. Okay. Thank you. Let us know if you have any questions. And the online group will be group 4.
Sweet. Super quiet. Just
Come and join us.
Just close it.
Yeah.
We don't need to. We're awesome.
Okay, great.
I've been to it with our pretty good shit. Our question, you were going to do it, how do you agree with everybody see you there. Yeah, I get nervous. So Jenny, so I know about things like that, but foundation. It says how to prepare for generative AI.
我看到有钱了，但是我不想加入。没有人进来吗？
So we were
再引发一个他们认定
retrieval augmented generation.
join online online
So that's why in my to add at least rich metadata stuff such as the stack format, just the stack data format, figure out how to turn that into maybe a
John.
sort of match up that we're trying to embed I've done some basic natural language processing. I actually made a piece of recommendation.
Yes. So your question. What is
Yeah,
but ultimately,
a lot of it, the difference might be metadata more explicitly. Like in,
Oh, yeah.
for example, like in that CDF, the 5 data, the actual data, for something, and feed it into something.
so I guess so Earth data training. So that could be at least
One of the box training on. So they ran those that might oh yeah, so that's like my dinner. Like that.
Simply the action.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not
I wasn't sure how you would say something. Awesome. Generally, still generally, I achieve ultimate image of well, not be able to discriminate or so that's the whole concept. And it's nothing too different from general. Yeah, you have to such as label. Well, if you only generate image, learn just with sure.
that's the I don't know. But yeah, we're just have small shifts. Yeah, I mean,
Also, when you look at some that's
yeah.
it's massive. I was like, we just don't know I would have on one side.
You know,
Because they, what those are. Basically, Oreos, but maybe part of it is right. I think it could be a lot of next month still one
Because it's just
yeah,
that's a result. Yeah, it doesn't know.
So what should we get for that screen?
Right, so there's a criminal spot.
it's just easy. The same thing.
So those so when I was working with they were doing it over there. And then JavaScript is fine.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Right. All the assets are
Yes.
you will currently and other sections and have data
Yeah.
just like you're going to any then but well, you know what I'm saying? Like I sounds like it's not a great.
We have 4 more minutes to go.
And this have two streets. One is for pre-training. Pre-training means that drills organized to station. Yeah. This like with appropriate method is like in a format I'm lost. Actually, it's not just a shot. You know, that's not. Yeah, right. The person. I guess so. What creature is burn? Thinking about it, just show off the right thing. Yeah, what I have so far is you never see all I've already known is the first sit up. Well, that show me because I got confused how to word all the yeah. Yes. It's the second.
Oh, you can try to.
Yeah.
So I guess.
I think we decide. Okay, we just do yeah. Oh, yeah, the first one. I was like, yeah. Right.
Those
Well, I think it's Well, that's what AI, maybe AI. Suggests. I mean, you have to define there's that.
I think that would be the search one. Just get.
I don't want to interrupt his amazing discussions. How about 30 more seconds? So we can wrap up. And pick one big person in that group. You can vote or do anything you want.
This one we're going to do as well. Because I think the biases and also data is so hard for the investment breakout. That was just pretty big sense. It's not big.
Right.
Space for time, so there's
Let's just answer the question.
Got a speak person?
Yeah. This is going to be bad.
Okay, good point.
Oh, it's bad news. I think it's more centered on English point.
showing like you.
No, okay, so what happens is we looked at the second question more than the first question, how to prepare AI training data for Gen AI foundational models. And we said a whole lot of amazing things. It was really hard to write it down. And so all I have written down is you need lots of data, it needs to have good metadata, and it should be chunk growth. That is nowhere near representative of the answers that we actually had. So I'm not sure how to capture that. I don't know. I can just add challenge information because the geospatial data has so many different modalities. Where you have points, measurements, you have those different resolutions and spatial temporally. And unlike text that you use in the large language model, that you can easily tokenize it by words or letters. But for the geospatial data, it's really hard to find the way to tokenize it and way to do the pre-training of those foundation models. That's why oftentimes people just go with real analysis data because that's the easiest way because it has this geospatial completeness and it's the same resolution at spatial and temporally. So that can just directly do the pre-training of it and how that can be generalized to other type of model or other type of data is something that people are still working on it. So there's a long way to go. That is just the, and not the answer, but caveat to that. No. Unfortunately, the X-Files.
I want to add that I was thinking about these questions, and I think they're really hard to answer if you haven't actually done AI training, or you just haven't. So I've used generative AI a lot, and I've used foundation models, and I've been applying things. But I think the user base of people with AI is going to be 99% applying, 1% training. Yeah, that's why it was hard for us to answer.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I think she was behind.
No worries, and I was also late. So I think, yeah, so it's AI, it's great, but making sure that the observational data sets, the buoys, whatever that we launch, are maintained, long-term observations are funded, are sustained, is important, very, very important that we increase the spatial coverage, increase the whatever temporal coverage, along with the AI efforts, I think, because the input that that you put in. So the balance between the two, maintaining the long-term observations, I think we should think about as well.
That's right. That's awesome. Do you have anything to add, Jensen?
Yeah, I was just having down all those amazing companies. Yeah, I think the long-term sustainable for the AI training is critical. And also not very easy. AI is basically just some kind of software. So it's gonna have the same problem as software system, but it's after the project funding runs out, nobody's maintaining the AI model, it's gonna go out of date. It's just like other software. So your knowledge base, like ChatGPT, only trained by data by like 2022. So if your like data product description or the variables and your API endpoint change after that, AI will never capture that. So if nobody is updating the AI model, yeah, it's just going away. That's the same as other software. Also, yeah, that's very good point. It's actually 99% of the users and 1% are just working. Maybe more than that. Actually. So what's your opinion? What's your suggestion actually from the user perspective for those people who are actually working on the AI model? Like, what's your most want to see thanks to the people who develop this chat? Something like that. So we should have a say in the training process. I think we are not just like users when bring it online, we just take everything there. We probably should participate in the process of training. Because the data is all AI just AI just train on all the historic data and give you all this knowledge. They basically just represent all the history knowledge we collected. So we should think about what data we should let them to fit into the AI model, train their services for us. Yeah, I think that's all. Thank you so much. I'm gonna write that. Yeah.
He's collecting all notes. Okay, group two. Who's the big person? We can do half and half. It's okay. Thank you.
All right, so we talked a little bit about both of the bullet points there. And one of the things we talked about is really what's the use case and how we want to use physics and integrate it into the AI model, especially when it comes to scaling and investing. Because we know there's a lot of investment in ChatGPT in particular, and who would be our investors to specifically focus on physics as a use case to incorporate into AI. Then we also looked at the preparing Earth AI training data for, I'm just that's right your head, specific use case. I know. And then we went off into a tangent. But when you look at what you have to do to prepare data, so there's lots of numbers, and you have to figure out how you're going to deal with those. And then you have to label all of that data. And then you have to figure out how you want to normalize that and weight it. And then one of the things that was discussed was when we think about things like training in particular, is this going to be supervised or unsupervised training? Because there may be some things that you want to make sure there are boundaries around when it comes to this, because there's things like hallucinations that come out of AI and stuff like that. You want to make sure that people who are being trained to use it and the learning language model also understands those boundaries, and then the end user also understands it as well.
That's all great points. Yeah. Covered everything?
I think context is really important in all this. It's like, I mean, probably understanding too in terms of when we're talking about like how to prepare for AI training data in a specific use case. Like, are we talking about like what AI model we're adopting, or like what? How does that all fit together? Because I think like where a lot of this is stuff, where a lot of this is going from you know, privatization standpoint, and actually the first group brought this up, which I thought was a really interesting point, which is that it's like we have all this scientific knowledge and understanding that's being, effectively, like it's been funded by the public trust and it's being privatized by these large corporations that have billions of dollars, well, I mean, even more than that, in investment and market cap. And, we're effectively handing them the data, and I just don't believe that there's like any kind of open source tool or approach that's ever going to be able to do that at scale, because compute is all controlled by Amazon, Microsoft, and major companies. And so like how do we influence like the training processes and use cases to make AI really support our efforts? But they already sort of have, I think they kind of have us in terms of like access to the data and using these models, and I don't know how we're ever into that. So sorry, doing what?
That's the questions we you're talking about, right? Anyone else? Do you have anything to add? No? Okay. Great. Those are all great discussions. Jensen, do you want to add anything about their for the
Yeah, I totally agree with both points. The context and the specific use case, and also the huge companies who own those the power over the funding and the computing resources. Like I'm not sure if you know that it's like H100, the latest GPU. It's like this size. It costs the same money as a Tesla. It's like who's gonna afford that if you don't have those $1 billion, right? Yeah, so that's definitely a barrier of some common scientists like us to just influence the process of training, or even we just want to do it by ourselves. So yeah, I definitely do want to hear what everybody is thinking about and how we can do this in the next step. It's not just using whatever to give us, which is not quite accurate most of the time for science purposes. But yeah, that's a good point. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we talked about all exciting part about AI, those like developer side, fancy side, and I'm gonna talk about the community engagement side. So we used AI. We developed very fancy things. How can we connect AI with the general communities? How can we use it? How can we promote it? So I'm going to talk about interactive geographic information system dashboard, GIS dashboard. I didn't use AI in those dashboard, but this is something I want to explore and I want to discuss all of those with you today. So I use the WebGIS to do that. Most of them are S3 product. And those it's an online version of GIS, has maps, 3D things, embedded content, GIS maps, story maps. It's very easy to build and can create digital stories and presentations. And it could help with I work in public health. And we have a lot of projects working with the government, Tennessee Department of Health, or North Carolina, some health system, the hospital system that they need very easy to understand maps or applications to help with them decision making or resources allocation. So it also can help with the risk communication, especially if it's hazard case or air pollutions. It can provide real-time data to help support that. And also could help with build the epidemiology models and weather forecasting. So if we have like John Hopkins, they developed a COVID-19 dashboard during the COVID pandemic, right? And that one keep updating every day and keep track of how many people got infected, how many people died, and get test hospitalization rate. Those are public facing. And it's easy to understand and it's very nice visualizations. Those how you connect general communities with those all fancy maps and research and discoveries, and also can evaluate intervention. So when you for example, promote some public policy, conduct some policy, and you will evaluate how does it work, whether it's good or it's bad. We needed some data or visualization to see it, right? So I have several dashboard I created before, and I'm gonna show some of those. This one was a Founding Friday project. 2 years ago, and I built a dashboard to show the Cheverly community air quality monitoring. And Cheverly community is a very small community in Maryland, close to DC. And in this one, we have an introduction about what's this project about, and then we have all um, data from NOAA, EPA, and we have additional informations. And we also have real-time air quality map from Purple Air that keep tracking. Oh, look at it. This is really bad today. So yes. So oh yeah, last night I checked, it's around 20 something. Yeah, today is 100. Probably because of different time. And this is a real-time sensor. And you can see 100 is it's pretty unhealthy, especially for vulnerable population. And we also have AirNow interactive map. So it's like a platform that can connect, like put everything together. So this is one example. You have air quality aware. You have forecast. NOAA AirNow forecast can show the PM, AQI, ozone, etc. So you can see all of this information and have radar data, weather map data. So this also can connect it to some information that you want to put it in some website, right? So this is one environmental health dashboard example. And next one I'm gonna share is the South Carolina Rural Health Care Resources Dashboard I created during my PhD time. And this one has like a summary, county zip code summary table to show all health related data. And health related data is very hard to collect, and it always have time lag. If you want to collect the fatality data, it could be 2 years lag from CDC Wonder. We work with CDC a lot or HRSA, and we always have problems of data collecting, especially for rural areas. The public health system suppress a lot of data, and a lot of information are from survey data, which are not accurate. Some of them are based on modeling and doesn't represent a rural area well. So those maps will show, okay, it's slow today. Okay, so those are different definitions for rural. We have some drive time from primary care providers. You can see, okay, percentage of areas covered by 30 minutes drive time from healthcare providers or facilities. And we also have healthcare facilities. Those are, it's interactive. You can just select, okay, if I only want to see nursing home, it will show all nursing home here and detailed information, etc. So this is South Carolina one. I also created a Tennessee multi-sector plan for aging data dashboard. So Tennessee is one of the 10 states that joins the learning initiative with CHCS, the Center for Healthcare Strategies, to develop multi-sector plan for aging. And it was a very small grant we got and from TenCare. It was a $10,000 project, this one. So, and that was the first project when I started my job at the East Tennessee State University. And this one, we have all definitions. It's a metadata. I really care about the metadata and the documentations. And I put all definitions where the data are from, and we put additional resources here, and we have how to navigate the dashboard because they are like this is for aging population or for general public or policymakers or organization leaders that are not familiar with like technology. So we want to make it very user friendly. So we have videos to show.
Hello and welcome
Okay,
to the training video for the
sorry. And we have infographics to show where to click as well. And ArcGIS sometimes doesn't have perfect visualization I need, so I embedded a Tableau inside as well. So it's several software embedded, and you can filter from different years and US intensity. You can cross different years to show age group, household education, rent, disability status, all of those status. We also have responsibility for children, and we have chronic conditions that we covered 18 different chronic conditions here. And you can see like hyperdemelia, hypertension, heart disease, stroke, vision impairment. And we had 3 aging symposium in Tennessee, one in East, one in Middle, one in West. And every time we present the dashboard, we will get some feedback from the communities. And if, for example, the vision impairment is what we is the one of the variables they recommend us to add, because of the vision loss is a very big issue for aging population, and we keep adding it when we present it to in aging symposium. So this is like more community engagement part. We hear what they care about, and they will keep updating this. And the next one I want to show you is the North Carolina Maternal and Child Health Dashboard. It looks the same because I developed all of them, so it looked like something very similar as like my preference in it. And this is oh yeah, the Tennessee one. So I said it started with a $10,000 grant, right? So they are very interested in it. So Tennessee Department of Health decided to fund us $300,000 to expand this. So we will expand this and add more, keep updating it. So this one I did last year, and it has 10 years ACS data, but the ACS data updated last December. Everything needed to be redo again. And we also will add more comprehensive data about dementia and ADHD. So we'll also add more detailed information at the county level. And this is a Tennessee one. So the North Carolina one is funded by Dogwood Health Trust. Is a hospital system in North Carolina, and they care about the Western North Carolina. How does the maternal and child health related population? Here is a detailed table to record everything and keep everything on track, and how to navigate this. We have a county summary like what I did for the Tennessee one, but this one has for each county. And we also have all different kind of information like income, poverty, education, household vehicle access, broadband, and telehealth. So we build all those maps using Experience Builder, and it allows us to organize and to make sure the organization is a way that most easy to use and understand. And for public transportation one, we called each department of transportation for each county, and to see whether they have fixed route, demand response, car seat, Medicaid transportation, and contact information. So this is labor heavy. We have to do it call one by one. And this one actually we started last year, and we keep updating because ACS data has been updated. We keep updating this, and we also have 4 community engagement studios, 2 in person, 2 online, that we invited community members from different area or organization, and we try to get feedback about which variables you want to see, which variables you want to remove, whether this visualization is good or any improvement, any challenges, etc. So yeah, those are some back the stories behind the dashboard development. That's it. Questions? Yeah, here, there.
Thank you. Those look like great resources. Since you brought this up in the context of an AI discussion, I think you talked about adding it to the dashboard. I would wonder, what are the challenges that people have that would need to be resolved that's not already solved by what built already?
You know what? Those are one of our breakout just questions. So what are the common challenges you would face? Because right now I didn't use AI in any of those dashboard, but the reason why we have a joint presentation on this is we do want to add like one side. We will expand the AI application and have a community in it, right? Another side is we also want to expand the dashboard, the development efficiency. It's labor heavy, and we need to make it as automated as much, and also considering all challenges like data, different resources, and keep updating. I don't know whether you have used ACS Census American Community Survey data before.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so those are the community level data, and each data set probably has hundreds of variables in one data set. How to identify those variables, how to clean up the data, like the all resources. I probably just show, for example, those are like some of from ACS, some of them from North Carolina State Center for Health Statistics, could be HRSA, CDC, and could be a fixed broad FCC form, could be all different resources. How to make all of those resources like reconcile like to one place and have a clean form so we can build maps on it and keep updating and maintain it. I think that's the biggest challenge I am facing right now. I have multiple dashboard project I'm working on, and each of them will last 3 to 5 years. And each year we need to update it. We have to maintain it. How to make this not labor heavy? And this is one thing I'm really curious about.
Thank you.
Thank you. More questions? No? Then we will have our breakout.
Yeah, I just want to add some comments about that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so the reason why we are combining AI and dashboard together is not just because we collaborate together. Because I think community dashboard is the most trusted information source the community want to. Like when you are going to the local health department, they will give you that, oh, you can just check out this website. This is where our department is maintaining, and that's where the truth of the source came from. It's a source of truth actually came from. But when AI is in the play, it's gonna jeopardize that probably. Because when my local department of health, some people from that department tells me what to do, I would do that without second thought because I trust those people. But if they point me to some like a ChatGPT store health AI dashboard, yeah, what I should do is like so when AI is in the picture, will that trust continue, or what we should do as a patient or as a community member? I think that's a big discussion, and we should start that right now. Because health AI is a big thing. There is so much money on the market, and a lot of startups on the health AI is trying to build some dashboard like this. So yeah, agree that there are a lot of technical challenges, like what chance that they really benefit from the AI, but is that like it's gonna destroy the trust between the the health department and the community? I'm not sure. We have to do that with dedicated manner and also concerns in mind to move forward.
I think that's a great point. So trust is very hard to build in the community and in the government as well. So when I developed the dashboard for 10 Care, we have weekly meetings to show, okay, the progress, and we get feedback from what variables you want us to see. And for each data set, I at least have 2 people to do QAQC. It will be bad if the data is wrong. And the community people will know that, will notice that. They live there. They know, okay, this doesn't look right. And that will definitely jeopardize the trust we build. And like I said, we got extra funding to expand that because we build community trust, we build a good relationship with the state government, and we like the first one is been it took us a long time to do it. Like definitely not cover any effort of the team, but it's like we keep building the trust and put some health information that is needed for the decision makers and organizations to help them and to see where they can improve or where we can improve. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah.
Let's start our breakout discussion.
Okay.
Before
we do that, let's give Chen another round of applause because that's the smallest live demo I have ever seen. If I need to do like a live demo like that, I'm gonna scratch my hands scalp off before one day ago, one day before. So thank you so much. Yeah.
So we still want to do 2 groups? Okay, we can do 2 groups. How about you can pick any questions you want? Is that too far? Okay. You can talk about it, anything you want on this list. And even if you want to talk something beyond this list, welcome to do that. We just want to get some feedback and ideas about what's next and what we can do to improve the community dashboard or AI applications. Okay? Thank you. I'm sorry to ask you. What kind of what? You need the software? I just actually RBS online.
Oh yeah, no, this one's way easier, way better. I had the dashboards than I was.
But those models, yeah. Yes. So and it's still it's not perfect. It's not like it's like use the visualization. Oh, here I want action. It's a lot of Exactly. You make a product. The governors actually very supportive about and they're trying to put 60 variables together to show the reliability of the protection, and then we have and I'm doing that. So I will have all
So I would just plan creating a dashboard. So this is what I should get from and probably kind of
Yeah, so that one is another problem because the students, government, are helping us collect data. So they have the connection with all of those departments where they have people, transportation department, everywhere. They can have people from agriculture departments, they can't just like.
So when I think about that,
So we're putting out the facility.
per job,
Just like, because that's all the data they have.
do AI training,
That's
historical caption, most sensing data coming in
the other
versus,
data
let's
that
just
I
say some
have,
of
I presented
that
all
doing
of
training each time.
we, basically, we
There's a bit of a
data. It's very time and you, it's a free data.
Yes.
I don't talk to people, but sometimes I don't talk to myself as well. Due to the data stuff. So yeah, so we'll go back and forth to start data and pull all of the data from different sources and cleaning them will so much.
So
Yeah,
I synthesize
Or how to create.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you. Source.
I think
And lower the account.
Yeah.
Upload. Download. Text version. Everything. So it's
another
one of the pancakes is what every month 6 months
and then for each county, if we classify that and it's hard to get it high. It's good. I just requested I was working on that for our workforce. I requested the from they sent me
it's not eventually.
25,000. Can you believe that? 25,000. Yeah. Ask for the protector, but I cannot do that. I have to convert it to the actual route. I literally asked them to they said, need to provide the security with passport is
so that would make it.
it's huge. Like it's about converted and it will generate like very massive data volume.
Yeah.
So mine is take 8 hours to publish just to convert it. And then I also needed to clean it and also to check whether it's accurate.
I think the word the way that I would do it, I would do an observation was that training periodically on the back.
It's hard, like it's really I want everybody. It's so helpful when you do new right? Then yeah, they do not like sharing data with
Well, I was suggesting Even though Microsoft AI crashes through actual experience, that's the question. But the way that you do it is it does analyze your website and force you to it's like 5 yeah, gotcha.
That's the hard part. Time that they want us to do it. And some people think,
I guess sometimes it's not
and some of them are going to say, oh,
a suggestion for
and I want to, like, sometimes it cannot be, right? It's not a,
Analyzing
like, reasonable to do something that's not a, they want to have a little
I think it would be more functional. Almost like if you ask like the person
so we have to do so. That's okay. And I said, they're not.
yeah,
That's what I think.
yeah, it's a little bit.
So that's part of the.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Part of it only there around. Okay, this is a map. This is right there. This is yes, yeah. They will care about that. Yeah, so we're. I mean, I love dashboards. I think there's a console for. But how can there a way to get all of like different instead and or like okay what and change and so
It might crazy.
And I was like,
Yeah, I mean, unless you have some base.
and then I was like,
yeah,
it's here.
yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Oh. I do want to be mindful of everybody's time. We have 8 minutes to 5:30. So how about the 30 more seconds to pick a big person? Thank you. Ready? You want to go first? This group? You're still talking. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so for in what ways AI dashboards contribute to sustainability and conservation efforts? So I don't think we exactly answered the question, but we were close. So like at least with the we talked a lot about how like AI could support some of these like dashboard initiatives. In other words, like we had a bunch of sort of like templates or stuff that you needed to generate or data management tasks that are routine, like AI could be pretty ripe to support that. And then it's like, okay, well, what are the ethical questions? Like, how much work am I actually doing? Like, how much value does that provide? Like, you still need expertise to write prompts to get everything cleaned up and make that data dynamic. and that's what AI can support. But then, like some of the flags would be there's a lot of value in sort of the community-driven process that you provided, and like I don't think AI is, or we don't think that AI is like close enough to kind of support and replace that because you still need the human contact and stuff. So that's I think that's it. Is there?
We were wondering, so you had mentioned about some of the slowdowns in Italy, and just wanted to understand if there was any kind of root cause around what happened with the slowdown with data wrangling, or was that still not known? That's funny. Okay. Yeah, we were just. Yeah, well, I was kind of wondering about like without knowing the details about what is the really time consuming element of the processing or data wrangling. Like it's hard to know which part can be made automated or not just automated, but have AI do. So I was wondering also if you had interactions with the data sources or repositories or wherever you're sourcing the data from to see if they can provide the data in a more suitable way in the first place, and maybe if they understood the value added that you're doing with this project, they might say, oh, this is actually maybe more prioritized to help clean up this sort of data, or I'm just wondering if, yeah, if you've had those interactions with the sources to maybe streamline your process from the start.
That's actually a great question. So, for community level socioeconomic variables, I usually use U.S. Census American Community Survey data, which is like 5 years. Every year they took a sample of 20% of the population, and then the 5 year is pretty reliable. And IPOM has some clean data that is already to be used, but the thing is, it's a legend. I just click. We provided detailed information for everything. We provided denominator about everything: the population, poverty, the percentages below poverty line, by race, ethnicity, those things, those informations are only exist in the original data sets access. And I'm the person who only trusts the original data data source. It's if it's like too many run and it's like several people deal with that, the data I would triple check all data I provide on the line. And I would prefer to use the original data, but the thing is we need more effort to clean the original data. It's raw data. And the raw data, each one, as I mentioned, the one worksheet could be 100 variables, too specific. So it's hard to find something that exactly, it's a human involved part. It's the expert involved part and the community involved part, because they are the people who know, okay, I am interested in this. But the data providers may not know what the users are interested. That's a gap we needed to fill out. So as a dashboard developer, I would have the original data, consult with the community, and have add our own judgment in it, and make a final decision of the data list and where the data is from. I hope I answered the question, or try to. Do you have an opportunity it's U.S. Census. Yeah, you think U.S. Census will care about me? I don't think so. More thing to add? Thank you. And here.
Thanks. We tackled the group 1 questions. So how to integrate AI in dashboard development. So we know there are machine-assisted coding tools. There are also machine-assisted graphical interface development tools. I think things like Figma are starting to incorporate those. We can envision AI suggesting certain elements to add to the dashboard based on what the designer already has. It's also possible to interact with tools like ChatGPT as part of the early stages of development, where you can tell it at a high level, I'm trying to build a public health dashboard. What are the different elements that I need to incorporate? And I've done stuff like this before, and it's really good at suggesting all the things you might want to consider. So let me see what else we put here. Incorporating AI into a dashboard itself. We're talking about training, inference here. I think, so we talked a bit about this, training ahead of time and using inference in the dashboard. We even brought up the idea of a chatbot in the dashboard. But I think that is where the risk is that I think Jensen brought up earlier, because you have the entire general public able to come and ask questions, and any failure at all is going to get immediately highlighted. And it's very easy for these to have some small percentage of answers that still allow somebody to ask a question like, how do I make a bomb? And to get through, and then it looks really bad. So that's a really risky thing right now. But in terms of development, it makes sense to incorporate that because there's less risk in development.
How about I add an AI box on the contact us and also add a personal email or contact information on it. So we'll see. Okay, if you find AI is unreasonable, feel free to contact us and verify it. How does that sound? It's just some random idea to have to increase maybe the interaction and the font size. And at the same time, I do want to make sure the data is accurate before we letting everybody know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything to add?
We had one other thing in terms of using AI to evaluate your designs and your things. So you can use AI to, we were talking about Selenium, and there's automated testing with that. AI can go a step further and tell you, is my dashboard readable? Can it be understandable? Are there certain groups who might not be able to understand that? And then if it finds a problem, you can ask it, how do I improve that?
Oh, that's a fun function I didn't know. Is it trustworthy? I mean,
You have to use your own judgment on it.
Okay.
Does the results make sense?
Okay.
So more information that you do.
Okay. Oh, that's a great idea. I'll definitely think about it, like for other dashboard I'm developing. Thank you so much for all of those great discussions. And I'm gonna have Jensen to have a final conclusion.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Turn it off.
Okay, thank you so much for coming today. We are over time. Sorry about that. But yeah, those are very good discussions, way beyond what I expected for today. So thank you so much. And I totally agree with maybe for some of the data sources you don't have the means to go back to the source. But for some data set, like we are the community for NASA NOAA USGS data source, we definitely have the ways to just talk to them, say, hey, this is my use case in the AI, and I want the data to be more AI ready. That actually be something can be done actually. And also, this is context. If you have any further questions, if you want to collaborate, just feel free to reach out. Actually, we are collaborating on some ideas to convert the NASA NOAA USGS data into actionable, insights for the community, especially in rural areas, because that's where maybe NASA data, certain data is only source of data set coverage in those areas because they don't have all those like ANR or ground station and those flyover data sources only choice for their public health question. But about the dashboard, I think that's going to change. That's where a lot of like ethical concerns existing when you are trying to involve some AI generated stuff in there. And what we can do, like we definitely don't want to ask AI to provide all those medical advices at this point. So generate the statistic data maybe require like 100% accuracy. Those things you don't want AI to get involved. But for things like that, maybe accuracy is not important, and if there is so many possibilities, you have no idea which one to choose. Maybe, yeah, that's a good situation to use AI. So we have to be careful about boundaries, which we mentioned, the scope of the AI, and the one you put on the dashboard, we have to also like disclaimer labels, like in the notes say, hey, AI could be wrong, and you have to put that under these, whatever data you put in there. But yeah, that's all. Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
have a good day.